What's brackin', guys? Welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of my Granada career mode. We're getting right into this episode with a match against Cordoba. It's going to be more of a laid-back episode, I have to say, because, I mean, we have no chance of moving up or anything, getting anything huge in this episode, but you'll see Cordoba really came out firing, as they really had nothing to play for, as they were assured of relegation already, but they came out firing and scored that goal. So, you know, probably just talk about some of the players I have coming up and plans for next season. Definitely probably going to have some changes, you know, in the squad. There are guys like El Arabi where, I mean, he commands a lot of money, and I think I'm going to sell him next season, going into the next season, because I think, you know, we have Buonanotte coming back, and he's a tremendous player. You'll see some of El Arabi's flair right here, nearly scoring off of that wonderful spin from him. But, yeah, I just think, you know, we get some good money for him, bring him some other players. Because El Arabi, I believe he's 28, so he's getting up there in age. So, I mean, he's probably at his peak right now, his peak performance, you know. The most we could get from him is probably at this age, you know, at this ripe age of 28 is probably a good age for, you know, a striker slash trequartista, which I've been playing him as, you know. You'll see this is actually an interesting play right here. Maines comes close. He's been really good on the corners lately. Fall back to Neom, who's going to score off a deflection right there. Of course, the right back is not known for his scoring prowess. Folk is a little bit better, you know, getting up there, I have to say, as good as Neom is. And we'll actually see the debut of a couple of players for us. Aboguier actually hasn't, you know, played for us because he's been out on loan, just been on the bench as well. And we'll actually see the young Australian central midfielder coming in, Griffiths, as well, to close out the game. It's kind of some garbage minutes, really, but, you know, it's huge because I think Griffiths has tons of potential. 67, you know, right off the bat, and he had like I think it was 85 potential or so. And his, of course, he has 82 attacking position, tremendous, you know, just actually really good technical stats, and his work rates are interesting because he has high defensive work rate, so he can track back. I believe it was a medium or high. Comparing his attacking work rate wasn't the best despite his attacking position, which is kind of contradictory. As you can see, we get the win in this first matchup, but definitely think he can play a huge role even just in next season. Playing cup matches for sure, but he could, you know, see himself in the starting lineup depending on how he shows early in the season, and he's probably going to get a run out, you know, in this episode as well. As you see, Aboguier is actually going to start over El Arabi. As I said, you know, we have those plans for selling El Arabi. You want to see what we have in Aboguier because he's an interesting player. What you have to see, look at how tiny he is right there, little Ghanaian central attacking midfielder. He's 5'4", as you'll see in the I'll be clicking over to his profile, but he is very quick and agile, and you could see some of his stats right there. A lot of green. He's just a really good player. 5'4", 121 pounds. But you can see just looking at the top, you know, looking at his pace, you know, goes all the way to the top. He's tremendously quick. You'll see we did stupid crap right here. Try to play the ball with Maines. Terrible touch. Vela is going to play the ball through here to Ndoye, and it's going to be a finish for them. So, I mean, couldn't really get too much going in this matchup, but either way, you know, we want to get some guys a run in this one. You'll see it gets even worse with an own goal from Idula right there. It's going to hit off his chest, as you can see, or his neck or head, something, and it's going to go in. What a deflection right there. And you'll see we lose that second matchup against Sociedad, but, you know, not going to hurt us much at all because, I mean, we are short of our mid-table finish now. That win against Cordoba basically kind of tied it up for us. And we'll actually have this last matchup against Atletico Madrid. It was fairly boring, but we just went with a pretty much rotated squad. See Cordoba up top. Griffiths, we're going to start Eddie, Aboguier. You know, some of these younger players that really, I think, have a good future with us. And you'll see Luis Martins, who's a good left back, but he hasn't really gotten the chance for us. He has some potential, I believe, but he hasn't really gotten the chance. See, Griffiths does a nice job. He's going to spearhead an attack right here. He just really seems to find himself in good positions because, you know, that the attribute, attacking position for his age, 82, tremendous, you know, just right off the academy squad. Basically, we see ball played to Cordoba. Looked like a penalty, but wasn't called. You see Griffiths again in a good position. He's going to win the header. I believe he's 5'11", so he has a nice. And then you see Aboguier, so quick and nearly gets by Siqueira, but he's going to body him. Some great stuff from him. You know, showing some of his potential. We'll see how he's going to fare for us because really excited for, you know, the youngsters coming up. See how they fare. And again, Eddie, another young player, the cam / CDM, can kind of play all over. Really, does a nice job taking a shot right there. He has some good strength and everything. And I mean, other than that, the match was very uneventful. So we'll get right into the squad report. It was a 0-0 draw, and you'll see, you know, some guys that went up. Of course, Roberto +3 at that age was tremendous. Babin is going up actually a little bit himself. Murillo Of course, tremendous player. Borja Gomez, who was out on loan, and Bulgari's are interesting. Of course, I said that plenty of times. We see Martins. I would like to see him go up a little bit more. Galloway was just on loan with us. Marquez, who's gotten some go. Iturra, Sissoko. I would maybe like to get rid of Eustace, Sissoko, maybe even Fatal. I'm not sure if he'll fit in for us at CDM, because I just think we have enough quality and we could probably find a better one eventually. Larsson has gone up in his limited time with us. The pacing winger. Ferran Rico, who is an amazing box-to-box midfielder for us. Griffiths at 67. Certainly can grow even more. Juan Carlos, I'm not sure if we're going to bring him back now because he's been so underwhelming. Like Eddie is going up. I want to note that he was out on loan. Could be really good for us when he comes back. Cordoba, of course, Bravo. Al-Arabi, who grew even, his was questionable. He wasn't that great throughout the season, especially near the end. So we'll see if we can get some good money for him still. Dione, older striker, we're probably going to try to sell Success. We're probably going to send him back out on loan. Maybe he has some potential we don't know about yet. We'll see. Taking a look at the appearances, Fokir and Roberto played in every match. Neom almost played in every match. We ruined that for him. I should have played him just because of that fact, but oh well. We'll see other guys that really just were mainstays. Piti, the veteran, a lot of bench appearances coming off the bench, so you can see how versatile he was. Some other guys who made some spot appearances, you can see, of course, Nukeo made a couple of appearances for us as well. So there are a lot of guys contributed to us this season, and we'll take a look at the goals now. Of course, Cordoba 18 goals, El-Arabi had 8, Piti had 8. Majority of those were penalty kicks, but either way, we love to have a great penalty taker on our squad. Ricky pitched in off the bench and a few spot starts with some goals. Juan Carlos as well, Larsson, Neom, Fokir, Rico, Iturra, Mains, an assist. Fokir 7, tremendous left back. He's a wonderful attacker. El-Arabi, Juan Carlos pitched in as well, Iturra. So this could really be a huge transition year coming up, with some older players and some guys who may be leaving, and Pete of course was a big contributor, and looks like he may be his last season as he's really getting up there in age. Of course, Roberto is rated our best player of the season looking at his form. As Juan Carlos, Roberto definitely was the best. Juan Carlos was really off and on. When he was playing at his best, that was when we were in our best form, because he was really a game changer. But I'm not sure if he's going to come back or not, because he was pretty just really tailed off at the end of the season, as did a lot of players. And you can see we finished in that 13th spot with Madrid, ran away with the title, as you can see. In Cordoba, 3rd in goals with 18, behind Rooney, Mandzukic. Then Bale, Vela, Luis Adriano, Gomez, Messi, Suarez were behind him. So he really beat some quality players there. Assist, the biggest guy was Fokir with 7 for us. Really pushed himself up there, tied with what would be like 4th or something, I don't know, with tons of other players. But then clean sheets, Roberto was 9th, not bad at all. But of course, Casillas, Rulli, Guaita, Ochoa, definitely some tough players to go against. You'll see we did wonderful in this season according to our board, which is great, finishing mid-table. And domestic cup performance, we did good, as all we had to do was basically be in it to reach our expectations. And with that, we'll be kind of rounding out the episode now, and we'll see, what happens in Season 2. Definitely excited to get into Season 2, which will be, of course, the next episode, guys. I'll catch